and gentlemen, welcome to the 4Guys&AGame podcast. Devin Murphy is on assignment in South America.
I like how we have a
Cody.
different storyline every time.
That man lives an
I'm
interesting
Cody,
life.
John, Evan, let's get this on the go.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna.
We're gonna talk about stuff, guys.
Yeah, E3 is done. Gaming industry is kind of asleep right now. A good way.
So
of
we're
putting
here to wake it up.
it. Yeah. Well, there's always that like silence like after E3 where the industry just kind of like it almost seems like it shuts down. Like all gaming websites kind of shut down, and for the most part, anyway.
Yeah. Well, they're all taking breaks. You know, they've been in San Diego or wherever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been quiet now the last like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah. All the big announcements happened last week, I guess. There's really not much to announce right now, so. But let's talk about what we've been playing. Start off with that. Get some news later. Cody, what about you? What have you been playing?
Oh, I'm still on the Mario Kart 8 bandwagon.
How's that going?
Been playing a lot of that. Especially the split screen multiplayer.
Wait,
Been
there's
having a blast with that.
oh,
Good game.
okay, yeah, because one person can use the Wiimote, can't they?
Well, it's still like if you're playing 2 players on the
weird.
TV, it still shows like split screen on the gamepad.
What?
Yeah,
That's
you
weird.
can do like off screen play, but like if you're playing multiplayer locally, it still has it split screen on the gamepad.
Why would it do that?
It's
Email
because,
Nintendo.
like if your buddy, you know, you got 4 of you, you're on the big screen, and your roommate comes home, he's like, "Hey, get the fuck off the TV." You guys can all huddle in a corner and like look at the gamepad.
Oh, yeah, it's like fucking.
It's fucking genius. You laugh. I've done it. I've done it with a group of friends.
Really?
It's
I
pretty homosexual.
I actually use the off TV play quite a bit. It's actually really useful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you know you don't have that TV, you can do that single player.
And I like how they've added that you can play the original Wii games off TV too.
Yeah. So you're pointing your Wii remote at your TV or wherever your sensor bar is.
No, it's got a sensor bar built into the gamepad.
Simply stunning.
Wait,
But,
so,
yeah,
I'm just blown.
so to answer my question, you can't use Wiimotes with Mario Kart 8? Like, can you, or?
Oh yeah. Oh, what you mean the Wii remote itself, the controller?
Yeah, like the old Wii, the Wiimote, I guess it's called. Can you use that as a controller for Mario Kart 8?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to hold a tower computer in your hand, you can use it.
I've also been playing. I went back and played Super Smash Bros. Brawl for a bit.
That's the Wii
That's the
one?
last one that came out for
Okay.
the Wii.
All right.
Yeah, pretty wacky game. See, I never played much Brawl when it came out. I was more into Melee back when that came out.
Yeah, I remember playing a lot of Melee.
But Brawl, man, it's such a ridiculous game. The stuff they got put into that. It has a lot of content. So when you buy that game, you get a lot of hours out of it.
So what's different? Like what is actually different between Melee and Brawl and the new one? Like what's besides characters?
Well,
Stages.
oh, there's a lot of new characters in Brawl. Like they added Sonic and Snake. And there's a
Okay.
bunch of other ones that I can't really remember off the top of my head.
Because they're all just reskins.
Oh, they added the level. You can make your own levels in Brawl,
Oh, really? That's cool.
Oh, that was cool. Yeah, that was cool.
and they had that new story mode as well. I forget what the name of it is. It's got some.
Mystery.
Yeah, that's right. And it's got a lot of cutscenes in it, which is cool.
Really nice cutscenes.
Yeah,
I always like when
I like the whole universe of Smash Brothers, like taking all these different game characters from different franchises, and it's like a wild dream comes true.
yeah, I always like when fighting games have a story mode because the story is always so bad. and so fucking ridiculous that you have
Mortal
to play it.
Kombat.
Yeah.
That has the most convoluted storyline of all time. But you know,
you have to
playing,
respect giving it a storyline though. You have to respect that.
yeah.
It's true.
But playing Brawl, like, they really created a unique fighter with it. Like, they just, instead of having like the basic, you know, 2 on screen, like, it's more like hectic. They added like you can like jump higher, like the levels are bigger. It's like a whole different breed of fighting game.
Yeah, it's like a fighting game and a platform game combined, like Tower Falls, like
yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Smash Brothers is a fighting game my wife can beat me at.
Yeah.
It's very easy to get into, which I like.
Yeah, which is why I don't understand why a bunch of like of the pro fighting community are getting into Smash Brothers, because anybody can pick up a Smash Brothers controller and play Smash Brothers. Like, it's, I don't know, doesn't make any sense.
I watched that Smash Brothers tournament at E3. I thought it was really fun.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just weird that the same guys that play like Super Street Fighter fucking 4 on hardcore and shit are the same people that are into Smash Brothers. It's kind of weird.
The funniest thing about those pros is that they don't play Brawl, they play Melee.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that just like a more balanced
what's
game?
that tournament called? They have every year. Is it Evo?
Evo, yeah.
That's where they
yeah,
play
like
Melee.
they had a Melee tournament last year. I watched some of it. It was pretty wild. The crowd really gets into it. You know, like it was crazy. Like they're yelling and like it's like they're gonna cause a riot while the fight's going on.
It's like soccer fans.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it reminded me of.
Brazil.
So what about you? What have you been playing?
Well, just got done playing a little some of that Battlefield beta,
Hardline.
Battlefield 4 Hardline.
What do you think of that?
It looks awful, absolutely stunning on how bad that game really looks. But I'm not like the biggest Battlefield fan. Last Battlefield game I really played hardcore was Bad Company 2. This one kind of intrigued me. It's made by Visceral. I love Visceral, especially some of the games they've made in the last couple of years. And it's cops and robbers, and it's this like really cheesy fucking 90s action epic.
Yeah.
You know? Setting. That's the way the setting is. You see like the news broadcast. So it's really corny. But I don't know, just the cops and robber aspect is really fun. You know, you just jump in your cruiser, and then you're just, you know, bailing it down Main Street. You got your buddy fucking just shooting out the windshield at other guy.
Yeah.
It was really fun. I was like, yeah, I could get into this again. It's fun. You know, I need to go. The robbers are taking money from the bank, and I have to take the money as evidence back to our like lockdown as evidence. You know, it's the same Battlefield modes and shit, but that reskin of cops and robbers was fun. I don't know. It's just being a cop that carries around an assault rifle is just badass.
Yeah.
I got a question for you.
I don't know if I paid $50 for it.
How many times did you quote Die Hard while playing that game?
Actually none. Not once. I was just like, I'm just having fun with this. I don't know why.
What did you play it on?
PS4.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I played like maybe.
It's only on PS4.
No, it's on PC. I played maybe 40 minutes of the PC one. And,
yeah.
I thought it's Battlefield.
It's Battlefield.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought it was awesome because like I'm just fucking cruising, and then here comes this guy in an armored like SUV shooting a fucking RPG at me, and I was like, oh shit. I don't know.
Something about it feels kind of lazy though, because I kind of feel like it doesn't need the Battlefield logo.
Yeah,
I kind of wish that.
That's how they're gonna sell it though.
Yeah, I kind of wish that EA would have just given Visceral money to go make a cops and robbers game.
Yeah, and then come up with their own concept, because they probably could have. I mean, they're a talented studio.
Like I've said before, like this almost feels like a mod that the community made for Battlefield 4.
But it is in beta. I hope it does get better, especially graphically. It can look better.
Yeah. Well,
I played Battlefield 4 a little bit on PS4, and it looks fucking great online. Even
you thought?
I did, yeah. You know, coming from the Xbox 360 to the PS4, it looked good.
I never really liked the style of the Battlefield games. I don't know.
No, neither have I. It never drawn me in, like, art-wise, but, like, I don't know, this game is like, playing as a cop was cool.
Yeah.
It was just cool.
Yeah, it's fun, but yeah, like you said, I don't think it's
I'm
worth
not
the
paying
price.
$70 for the fucking
No.
thing. You know, it's not going to work for the first.
I'd like to try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun to play. It's fun to try.
It should be like an expansion for Battlefield 4. Like, why isn't it?
Yeah, pay $20. Here's cops and here's robbers. Because it's exactly what it is. But it's fun.
Yeah. Well.
Shame on me. Shame on me.
Well, I'm finally in the future. I have a PS4.
You're in the future.
I mean, I'm living in the future now. This is the future.
Yeah. Well, we're not part of the same time verse now. Like Doctor Who.
Fuck Doctor Who.
Pissed off like a.
Oh yeah, I think I just pissed off half the internet with that one. But
yeah, you better watch your back, man.
Tumblr's gonna come after me for that one. But
how does the future look?
The future looks a lot like the past in a lot of ways.
Just a little prettier.
I think this is like I love it. I love PS4. It's an amazing console, and like what it does already is really impressive. But it's like, I don't know. If you remember coming from the N64 or PlayStation to the PS2 or Xbox, like
yeah, it was a big jump.
Yeah, there was a big jump. When you came from the Xbox or PS2 to the 360 or PS3, there was a huge jump because we were going into HD.
Yeah.
And now we're kind of at a point. It's like we can't really go that much further with it.
But between this console generation and the last is even more HD or
yeah, apparently. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I like the PS4. I really do. I think it's a really good system. Especially that live streaming.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I fucking hate that. It's so dumb.
I think that's really cool. I don't know.
It's cool that the option is there, but I was on there, clicking around, and I'm like, these are just people yelling at the screen.
Some,
but
it's
kind of like what we're doing, I guess.
Yeah.
But,
like I was watching.
Put a fucking shirt on, man.
I was watching one dude though, and he was like playing the Destiny Alpha, and he was like going through it and explaining stuff. And it was like watching an IGN video or something like that. It was really good how he did it.
And I like that. But how many fucking shitty ones did you click through to get to that?
Well, that's the internet in general. I mean, that's.
Well, that's true. I know, but, yeah, I was just like, fucking really, people buy this console with this really good technology. They put this in your hands, and this is what we come up with: some fucking shirtless dude yelling at the screen. I was like, oh fuck.
And that is people. You give people technology, they will get naked and have sex. Like that is technology.
You mentioned you played Destiny Alpha.
Yeah, we'll wait and get to Destiny because me and you both.
I really want to talk about Destiny.
Yeah, I bought one game with PS4. I bought Infamous Second Son. That is a cool game. I really like that game.
Out of all 12 games, you chose Second Son.
Out of all, 12's being generous. Let's say out of the 3 games that I could choose from,
you chose Infamous.
Well, I was told that was one of the best showpieces for the PS4.
And it really is. Like that's a game you look at, and like last gen, we never got a game like that early. Like the games for early on PS3 and 360 looked like shit.
No, there's nothing like it.
Like Second Son looks like it. It's like 4 years into the PS4's life cycle. Like,
go back and play Perfect Dark Zero.
Yeah, exactly, right?
I mean, Second Son is what, 60 frames a second, 1080, is it? Is it 1080?
Oh yeah, they're all Yeah,
and that's really good. I mean, that's what you want to usher in your consoles.
And the effects, and it's the little things now. Like I said, but the jump isn't that noticeable anymore. It is the little things, like when he gets hit. You see the pain on his face. Like when he's doing an attack or something, like the way he moves his hand, like you can see every little joint in his finger move when he's doing an attack. And that sounds stupid, and there's people that say, well, graphics don't make a game. And that's bullshit in a lot of cases. I'm not saying every game needs graphics, but in a game like Infamous or a game like The Last of Us, the graphics are a huge graphics are a huge part of the gameplay. And there are certain games that don't need it, but there are certain games that graphics are part of the gameplay. Infamous is one of them, and does a really good job with that.
Yeah, a game like Infamous has a crazy budget. It has a really talented studio behind it. It should look good, and it should play good.
Yeah,
I agree with you on that.
Yeah, I mean it's a fun game. I'm definitely not disappointed with it. I was kind of out of the series a little bit with the last two, with Infamous 2 and Festival of Blood. Thought they were like decent games, but they never really like I didn't finish them. I was just kind of I got bored with them. But
Yeah, that's where I kind of dropped off. I was like,
yeah,
I shoot fucking powers out of my hand. I don't care.
I'm back on board with the second song. I want another one. Like I really
You
hope.
want Saving Light or whatever it is?
I definitely actually have the First Light pre-orders because
You are a freak. You are a freak.
Fetch Fetch
You are pre-ordering digital content. That is the end of the world right there.
I mean, I bought Infamous digital. I don't I'm not buying any physical media if I don't have to. Not anymore. But
so you bought this game digitally.
Yep.
So you now have about 4 gigs left on your PlayStation. You have your external hard drives hooked
well,
up.
here's the thing. It's funny because me and Andrew, they don't know who Andrew is, but we're gonna have Andrew on the podcast one of these days. Me and Andrew were having a talk about this because I was saying how I had a PS4 and stuff. He said the first thing I did was put 1.5 terabyte hard drive in his PS4. That's the first thing he did. And now he said like he'll never run out of space because he has so much room on his PS4 right now. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. I could do that. But I don't play more than 2 games at a time. So when I'm done with a game, I will delete it off my my hard drive. I'll delete the install, and if I ever want to replay that game, I'll reinstall it. The times are so quick with PS4, there's no reason not to. On PS3, I could see, yeah, that was a problem. Because if you deleted a game, and you're like, fuck, I have to wait 6 days to fucking download this game. But I downloaded Infamous, which is like a 20-some gig game, in no time at all. So it took
it's like 20-some gigs?
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Huh. That is crazy.
But yeah, it downloaded it in no time at all. So like, I don't mind. I'm not going to have more than 2 games on there at a time because I'm only going to play 2. So at the most, maybe some indies and stuff. So yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind being all digital this time. That's my PS4 rant.
Good stuff.
You want to get into talking about Destiny? I think Evan dropped out.
Uh-oh. This is a first for the podcast.
Well,
Evan, where are you?
Evan's in South Africa or South America, wherever, with Devin now.
South America.
Yeah.
Getting eaten by cannibals. But if you want to start going on about Destiny, I can't play it. I don't have anything to play that game on, but I'd like to know what you thought of it.
Yeah. I don't know if I should give Evan another second to see if he's coming back here or.
Oh, this is off to a great start. Yeah.
Evan.
Now we're just 2 guys in a game.
Oh man, we're getting like less and less budget, so we're just soon it's gonna be 1 guy and a fucking I don't even know 1 guy and a what?
1 guy in a tablet.
1 guy in an iOS game.
Well, I guess you better start we'll get you going on about Destiny here.
Yeah, I play a little bit of Destiny. I didn't get to play a lot of it. I was kind of hoping to talk to Evan about Destiny because I think he played more than I did. But it is cool. It is. I finally understand what it is. Like, they've been showing off videos, but they've kind of kept secret, like, what that game actually is. But now it is an MMO. Like, it's a straight-up game like World of Warcraft. But what it has going for it is the shooting. It's an MMO with good combat, which we haven't seen for a long time, or ever. I don't think there's ever been an MMO that's actually had good combat. Yeah, it's basically it's Halo. You can definitely see that Bungie made the game because it has that Halo feel, and even the graphics, I guess. They're kind of different than Halo, but for the most part, like you can see the Halo influence on them. So yeah, it's the shooting of Halo, mixed with the shooting of Borderlands. When you shoot an enemy, you see the numbers fly off of them. When you shoot them in the head,
Okay.
you see like a different color. Oh wait, is he back? No, I thought he was back. Yeah, but when you shoot them in the head, you get a headshot. You see like you see the same numbers, but in a different color, just like Borderlands. They really, really got inspired by Borderlands from this. The loot is a lot like Borderlands. It's kind of like Diablo too, in a way. Like you go on missions, you'll pick up random loot, and then it has the WoW factor where you can go back to like a HUD town. Oh, Evan just messaged me. He said he's not coming back for this, I don't think.
Okay.
All right. Well.
Okay. I was gonna ask. So, you're always playing with other human players, right? It's like everyone's like when you log into the game, you're seeing other people that are playing, right?
You are, yeah. Like there's like I forget the name of the planet. There's like a planet you go to, which is like your HUD world, I guess you'd call it. And that's where you can see like all the players in the game. It's where they go, and the game actually goes third person when you're on this planet. Otherwise,
Okay.
It's completely first person. But you go on this planet. That's where you buy weapons. You can upgrade weapons. You can buy ammo. You can. There's even like a thing like I was seeing like in World of Warcraft, the players they would dance. Like there's actually a button basically to make your character dance. There's a way you can make your character dance in Destiny. So you had just random people dancing. I'm just like, what kind of game is this? Yeah, it's weird. That's what I mean. It's fucking weird. The dialogue is weird. Everything about that game is weird. But it's a good kind of weird. It's got like a very 70s vibe to it in a way.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really cool. I was excited for it, but I wasn't that excited for it. Now that I've actually played the alpha, I pre-ordered it. I'm down. I really, really, really can't wait for the full game to get released.
Oh, that's good to hear. Yeah, this is supposed to be one of the biggest games of this generation.
Yeah, not even this year, this whole generation, right? Because, I mean, the budget that's gone into it, I guess it's easy to say, well, it better be good because it's $500 million. But at the same time, like, Bungie have a lot of pressure on them. They're the guys who made Halo. Like, they have to prove right now that they can make a game that's not Halo. You know what I mean?
Exactly, yes.
So this, hopefully it works out for them. And I hope the 360 and the PS3 versions are as good as the Xbox One and PS4. And it's kind of weird that it's not coming to PC because the whole interface, it kind of almost feels like you're using a mouse.
To me, it sounds like a game that should be on PC.
Yeah, like even the interface, like it moves around like a cursor, like a mouse cursor. It's really
like when they first announced that game, that's like one of the first things that popped in my head. Oh, here we got a PC game.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird because I mean, Bungie's roots have been in PC and Mac gaming, so it's kind of weird that it's not coming to the PC.
Well, maybe at a later date. They're just holding off on it.
Maybe the PC will get the super high res version.
Yeah, kind of like what they're doing with Grand Theft Auto, something like that.
Yeah.
But the thing I want to talk about here is their plan for this game is to have this game have a 10-year lifespan.
Well, okay.
Keep building on it. Do you think they can accomplish that?
I listened to an interview with one of the heads of not Bungie but Activision, and he said what they meant by that was they planned for Destiny as a brand to have a 10-year lifespan. So the way he made it sound was that he's including sequels and stuff into that 10-year life cycle.
Oh, okay. Because I remember when they first announced it, way back when, with that trailer, they said that they wanted to build this game up and have it as last for 10 years.
Personally, I don't think any game... The only game that could ever do that is World of Warcraft. That's the only game that's lasted as long as it has. And still has the amount of players that it has. But even that's kind of dying out now, but that's been around for a while. That's been around probably since 2004, so yeah, probably 10 years.
Yeah.
But no, I don't see Destiny. I don't see this game alone lasting 10 years. Like, they can release all the DLC they want, but people's attention spans are not that good for games these days. People are move on to the next game so fast.
I think we can all attest to that because, you know, you buy a game, you don't complete it. You'll play a bit of it, but you won't complete it.
Yeah.
And, like, a new game will come out and will steal your attention.
Yeah.
I'm very guilty of that.
Compared to how it used to be. I mean, back in the day, I'd play a game for a year. I'd play that one game for like a year.
Oh yeah, back in in the Super Nintendo days, there was like years where I just went with like one or two games.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. Thinking about
that
now,
the times have changed so much.
Well, again, like games, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I should say games aren't as hard as they used to be, but I think it was just I was young back then, so the games just seemed harder than they actually were. But
I can see that, yeah.
So should we move on to talking about news?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Start off with the one you brought up is Capcom seem to be in some kind of trouble, I guess. What do you say?
Yeah, the news is that they are available for buyout, meaning that any third-party company can buy out the company if they invest in enough shares.
So, was there a reason given for why all their stock people left? Like, what happened there? Like,
I only touched upon this briefly. I don't know the whole story. But apparently there's been two big people at Capcom who've left the company, and one of them was the guy that created Street Fighter.
which is a huge loss for Capcom.
Yes, a huge loss, considering that's one of their biggest franchises, and he's been with Capcom for so long.
Okay, here I'm just reading here. It's possibly due to a new stock policy. So it sounds like they put a new stock policy in place, and some people had a problem with that, and maybe that's why they're leaving.
Okay.
That's what it sounds like.
Yes, that sounds legit, yeah.
Yeah. There is a plausible list of potential buyers.
Oh, well, you know what's going on. Everyone on the internet's freaking out. Oh, Microsoft should buy them. Sony should buy them.
Yeah, actually, let's look at
Nintendo should buy them.
Here's the list here. Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, Square Enix, Sega. Sega? What?
Sega? Oh, my God.
Can Sega even afford a company like that?
Can they even afford to make a good game?
Namco Bandai? Nah, that's not going to happen.
No, I couldn't see that.
Activision? I really don't think Activision have a reason to buy Capcom, considering they're doing just fine with 3 games.
I think if any of the big 3 companies, like Nintendo, Sony, or Microsoft, bought it, I think that they could do really good things with it.
Maybe.
Now, you might disagree with me on this, but I've been saying this since they put Mega Man in Smash Brothers. I wish that someday Nintendo could get the rights to Mega Man, because I think Nintendo could make a really good Mega Man game.
Well, Capcom's not gonna, because they're kind of done with Mega Man.
Well, yeah. Well, to be honest with you, anybody could do better with Mega Man than what Capcom's doing.
Oh, it's kind of stupid though. They have this character that, I mean, if they released a Mega Man game, it doesn't really matter what they release; it's gonna sell because there are some diehard Mega Man fans.
There's a lot of people that's turning on Capcom. A lot of like diehard fans because they're not doing anything with them.
Like what are Capcom doing right now besides? We know they're working on a new Resident Evil game.
And what about that game there for PS4 there, the one with the dragons? What's that called?
Oh, Deep Down. Are they doing Deep Down?
Yes.
Okay, Deep Down.
Aren't they publishing it?
But Deep Down's a free-to-play game.
Okay.
So, I mean...
Oh, they said Street Fighter V is in development.
Well, yeah, of course it is. I mean,
yeah,
it's probably been in development since Street Fighter 4 came out, so...
True, yeah.
I mean, yeah, they have, like, what, Resi, Street Fighter, Deep Down...
Oh, Monster Hunter.
Do they do Monster... I thought that was Namco.
Capcom publishes it.
Okay. Well, they make a lot of money off that, so...
Well, Monster Hunter 4 is coming out next year for the 3DS, and that's going to be a big game.
Yeah, see, that makes perfect sense. This is Nintendo's chance to step up and buy. Why don't they buy Capcom or take over Capcom?
I think they should. Well, of course, I'd be excited.
Yeah, I mean,
well, like I just think that they could do really good things with Capcom. They could.
Like Monster Hunter is one of the biggest games on 3DS or any DS or any mobile gaming device.
Oh, gee. Well, and especially in Japan, it's huge in Japan.
Yeah, and like that's if Nintendo had that exclusive, that's a huge, huge bump for Nintendo right there.
Yeah.
The other piece of news, something we didn't talk about last week because of all the E3 craziness, was secretly and very quietly, the Doom 4 teaser kind of got released, and I think it got released the same time that the Nintendo press thing was going on.
It did.
Yeah. So it kind of got overshadowed by the whole Nintendo conference thing, but you're a huge Doom fan.
I wish Evan was here.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to talk to him about it, but
all right,
I'll give my thoughts on it.
All right, what you think?
It was exactly what it said it was, a teaser. Didn't show like much, but as a diehard Doom fan, when I heard that sound of that door opening, and they showed that. You know what I'm talking about.
Things from hell.
I don't even know the name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that friggin' creature thing.
Yeah.
I don't even know its name. That's kind of sad. But when they showed that, I'm like, I think I can dig the direction they want to go with this. They want to bring Doom back to what it used to be.
Yeah, but I talked to a lot of people. I know a lot of people that are pretty big Doom fans. I was interested to hear Evan's opinion on this too, but a lot of people said they got a very Doom 3 vibe from the teaser, and they were upset about that because I know a lot of people that actually don't like Doom 3, and they said that it kind of gave off. I mean, I don't know how they got a Doom 3 vibe because it was such a short teaser, but they said they got a Doom 3 vibe from it, and they weren't really happy with that. I thought Doom 3 was an awesome game, personally.
I love Doom 3.
Yeah.
If you go back to when that first came out, that was a mind-blowing, like, technical game.
Yeah, I remember I had
the graphics, the atmosphere, it was awesome.
I had a PC that couldn't run it, and then they released it on the original Xbox, and it looked like it looked amazing on the Xbox, like really.
It's
really
a scary
good.
game. Like when I played it on PC, I used to play it with the lights off and on my headset.
Yeah. And
that game, like, really made me jump out of my seat a couple times.
Well,
like,
yeah.
The atmosphere was perfect.
What Doom's always really done good was the sound effects, I think.
But I think what really annoyed a lot of people about Doom 3 was that it was a little more slow-paced, like the original Doom games.
Yeah, well, I mean,
just fast action shooters.
Yeah, in Doom 3, you had to like have your flashlight out or your gun out. You couldn't have both of them.
Yeah, that's the problem. The flashlight. You couldn't use your flashlight.
Yeah.
The same time you had your gun out.
Yeah, I remember that. But I actually like that because that's a good. It makes the game more scary.
Yeah, it adds more tension to it.
Yeah.
But I like the teaser, even though it was very brief.
I kind of got a.
And they're going to show off more at QuakeCon.
Yeah, which is good. I kind of got a StarCraft vibe from the trailer for some reason. It just reminded me of something that Blizzard would make. I don't know. I guess because of the machinery that the Hell Minion thing was wearing had a very StarCraft look to it. I don't know. I thought it was a good teaser. I think it gets people pumped up for the next Doom.
Oh, I liked it too, because like as like the old school hardcore Doom fan.
Yeah.
I really liked like just the sound effect of that door opening and just the creature standing there, and like, it almost seems like they're gonna reboot it. It's not gonna be Doom 4.
Yeah, no, they didn't actually call it Doom 4 in the teaser, did they?
It just said Doom.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Doom. Yeah.
It seems like it's gonna be a reboot.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with.
That's true. Huh. Never really thought of that. It'd be kind of weird. I don't know. I don't know how I'd feel about that. I don't know if.
But you know it's going to be a technical marvel when it comes out.
Well, that's why I'm most excited.
It's all about the powerhouse, right?
Yeah. Do you think it's going to come to consoles, or do you think it's going to be a PC exclusive?
I wouldn't rule out a PS4, Xbox One release.
Yeah, I mean, that's where the money is now, right? Seems to be console gaming.
Yeah. So. And yeah, like, it seems to be going more towards consoles, because they put Rage out. on all the 360 and the PS3.
I forgot all about Rage. What a
Wasn't a
disappointment.
fan?
Well, I remember the E3 that they first showed Rage off. I remember there was like a long gameplay demo they gave. It was like a 20-minute demo. And I remember after seeing that demo saying Rage is going to be game of the year for that year that it came out.
Okay, yeah.
I was excited for Rage. And that game did not live up. I'm not saying it was a terrible game. The shooting was fucking amazing. But
Oh yeah, I definitely agree there. Yeah.
the driving was awful, and there was way too much driving in that game.
Here's what I think the problem is with Rage. Borderlands beat it to the market.
It's true, man.
If that game would have come out before Borderlands, I think we'd be talking more about Rage than Borderlands.
Maybe. I mean, Rage to this day is still one of the best looking games I've played.
Oh, especially on the consoles. I have it for 360.
Yeah.
And like the graphics look tremendous, and like the frame rate is solid. It's really good.
And they look like a million times better on PC.
oh yeah, I can just imagine.
Yeah. But the texture pop in is still there. I still have the problem. I remember on the console there was really bad texture pop in, and even on the PC version there was too.
Yeah, it's when you get games like that on console, it's better to install them.
Yeah,
it helps the performance.
Yeah, I'm excited for Doom 4. I'm not really. I mean, I've said it before. I'm not. I never was a huge Doom fan. Like, I never really enjoyed Doom 1 or 2 that much. I enjoyed Doom 3 for the most part. I thought it was somewhat overrated because it was basically just a shooter. But again, that's what Doom is, and that's what people want from Doom. I just don't know. I don't know how you make a Doom game in 2014 or 2015 or whenever this game comes out. I don't know in this modern age how you even go about making Doom. I don't know.
Well, we just might find out here soon.
I mean, but at the same time, I guess Wolfenstein just came out. That is that's by the same company, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, same publisher. Anyway.
Yeah, but they got another company to develop the game.
Yeah, that was Machine Games. Machine Games made it, and it was published by the same people, which is id. But at the same time, what I was get to my point, Wolfenstein was just a shooter. Like, it didn't do any trickery or anything like that. It didn't have any gimmicks. That game was a shooter straight up, and it apparently sold really well. So maybe that's what people want. I mean, maybe they just want a shooter.
Here's my wish for the new Doom game. Make it scary as hell. Make it memorable.
Yeah, I agree. If you're gonna just...
I want more scary games. I love getting scared.
Are you gonna get Alien Isolation when it comes out? Because that looks like it's gonna be terrifying.
I gotta be honest with you. I haven't seen the newest trailer for it yet.
Oh really? That game looks really cool. I'm really excited about that.
I've been hearing that it looks like it's gonna be a good thrill fest.
Well, they sold me when they said there's only one alien in the game. I was
okay.
Yeah, it's just
that's interesting.
It's kind of a game of hide and seek, really. I mean, there's really not much combat. I mean, there are so like a little bit of combat, but not really, because it really is just you on this abandoned spaceship, and there's an alien in the dark, and you have to like make really, really, really like gentle movements, or if you could like be under a table and hit the table, and something will fall off the table, and the alien will be alerted to where you are. It's really scary.
And don't you play as Ridley's daughter?
Yeah, I forget her name. I forget what they're calling her, but yeah, which is cool. That game, I think I'm really excited for that game. It comes out in October, I think.
Speaking of that franchise, did you ever play Aliens Infestation for the DS?
No.
You should try it someday.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Castlevania and Metroid.
What?
But it's aliens.
That's weird.
And you can be different like Marines in it. It's a pretty cool game. You should definitely try it out someday.
I didn't even know there was an Alien game on the DS.
Yeah, Gearbox published it.
Oh, really? How long have Gearbox had the license for Aliens? I thought it was just like a recent thing.
Don't know now. I'm not sure ever since what happened with
Yeah.
Colonial Marines.
Yeah. I don't know. As a longtime Alien fan and as someone who's been disappointed with the most recent Alien game, which is Colonial Marines, I'm excited for the new one. That's cool. The other piece of news, this one's actually funny. Apparently, have you seen the advertisement with, yeah, you're the one who told me about this, Aaron Paul.
Oh, gee.
Doing that. Aaron Paul from like Breaking Bad and the Need for Speed movie. Is it Aaron Paul? Yeah, it is Aaron Paul.
Aaron Paul, yeah. He played Jesse Pinkman.
Yeah, he did an advertisement for was it for the Xbox or for the Kinect?
Yeah.
Well, I guess for both.
Xbox One.
Yeah, for the Xbox One. And the whole point of the Xbox One commercial is him showing off the features of Kinect. And
at the end of the commercial, it advertises the Xbox One without Kinect.
Yeah, well, that is funny. But what's also funny is people have been complaining to Microsoft that advertisement is turning on their Kinect, turning on their Xbox.
Oh, you mean like when they're watching it on their TV?
Yeah, like they'll
just picking it up.
Yeah, it hears him say like Xbox on or whatever he says in the commercial, and their Xbox.
Yeah, but don't all the Xbox One commercials do that?
I don't know. So it's really.
I've seen a bunch of them on TV where they got like some random person saying,
"Yeah,
Xbox turn on" or whatever.
Well, apparently Aaron Paul is saying it very clearly because it's turning people's Xboxes on.
Oh boy. I don't know. I just found that commercial like funny when I watched it the first time.
Yeah. And
like it shows him doing all these Kinect commands, and then it comes up on the screen saying like Xbox without the Kinect starting at $3.99.
You know what? Well, Evan's not here. He can't defend his Xbox. Let's talk a little bit about remote Microsoft. Since Evan can't defend them, so
he's gonna hate us.
No, like I was thinking about it. Like that's gotta suck for people that bought the original, like bought the Xbox One Day One edition or whatever they called it. The people that didn't really care that much about Kinect, but had it bundled in anyway because Microsoft was forcing it upon them.
Mm-hmm.
That now they're selling the consoles cheaper. I mean, do you think they should like give people like the people who didn't want the Kinect a refund? I know like they can't give them a refund because then everybody would say they don't want their Kinect and they'd get a refund. But like I don't know. To me, it feels like they should do something about that.
You know what this reminds me of? That whole 3DS thing. Remember where they created that ambassador program?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They should be doing something like that.
Yeah, give away a few free games or something.
Like I got 10 free like GBA games or like what was it? It was a bunch of like different like NES games, GBA.
Yeah. Like
one of them was like Metroid Fusion, which was awesome. Getting that for free, like.
I don't know.
But like yeah. Anyway.
It just kind of seems like a jab at the people that didn't want to Kinect but got stuck with it in the first place.
And it's like you said to me, Microsoft spent all this time convincing people that Kinect was the future.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. And now they're taking it away so they can boost the sales of the console.
And that's gotta suck for those. Like, they have pretty much killed the Kinect. Like, you can say what you want. Yeah, sure, the Harmonix guys they're releasing that Fantasia game on it.
It sucks for them.
And yeah, it does. And there's still that Shape Up game coming from Ubisoft. But other than those games that were already in development, there isn't a single company that's going to make a Kinect-only game now. Like, there's no... Like, that's suicide for a company to do that now. So Microsoft have basically killed the Kinect. Already. Not even a year into its life cycle. The Kinect is dead.
Like, yeah, pretty much.
That's crazy.
Like, yeah.
That blows my mind. And I kind of feel like Microsoft lost their identity a bit. I mean... Go back to the E3 when they first announced the Xbox One.
That's where they turned me off as a customer.
Yeah, but look at that console they announced, and look at the Xbox we have now. They're two completely different machines. Like, sure, I wasn't a fan of some of the stuff. I wasn't a fan of the Kinect-only shit, and I wasn't a fan of the whole snap while you're playing. You can snap like your TV while you're playing a game or something like that. To me, that's a feature that's stupid because when you play a game, you should be like zoned out into that game and not worry about watching TV. But some of the stuff they said back then was actually really cool. And at least it made them look different than Sony. And now they look just like Sony now. Like, there really isn't any difference between those two machines now.
They pretty much, yeah, like you're saying, they pretty much erased how they were trying to make themselves stand out in the market.
Yeah, like, I don't know. If I'm someone going to buy a console, like, the Xbox One, it is a less powerful machine than the PS4. Like, that has been proven. Like, I'm not saying it's a huge difference. It's probably not. It's probably not a huge difference at all. But
if you want to get technical, yeah.
yes, the Xbox One is a weaker system than the PS4. And now it's that's what it is now. It's a weaker system than the PS4. Like, without Kinect in that box, that's all it is. So it really comes down to Microsoft at this point. They have to, like, they need to show some exclusive games, like major exclusive games, which I don't think they have, other than Sunset Overdrive and Halo and that Quantum. What is that game called?
Quantum Break?
Yeah, which they didn't even talk about this year at E3.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
That's the one being made by Remedy.
Yeah, the Remedy's new game. Like, they really need some first-party stuff right now because, like I said, if I'm someone going into a store to buy a system, and I ask the jackass at EB Games what console I should buy, or which one's the more powerful console, he's gonna say, well, the PS4 is the console to get, which at this point it is. But yeah, I don't know. I think Microsoft, I don't know. In a weird way, and I know I probably sound like an asshole for saying it, I kind of miss the Xbox One that Don Matrick announced way back, was it 2 years ago now at E3? Like, sure, I still wasn't going to buy it, and I'm not going to buy this new Xbox, but at least I respected what they were trying to do with the whole DRM digital things, family sharing plans, and all that stuff. Like, they actually did have some cool ideas there. But yeah, that's my Xbox rant, I guess.
It's to be talked about this. If we summarize on E3, we look back on E3 last week. I think that coming out of it now, Sony has the upper hand. Xbox kind of hit themselves in the nuts. And you know something? They may have opened the door to let Nintendo come back.
Well, this is going to take us right into our next piece of news, which is...
Segway!
Apparently, the PlayStation 4 has outsold the Xbox One for 5 consecutive months in a row, including this past month. And the Wii U has outsold the Xbox One this month, which is good news for Nintendo. Really good news. Yeah, I don't know. I think, look, it's too early to say, and it's stupid. Like, at the end of the day, who cares who sells more consoles? Who cares if, that doesn't really matter. Because, I mean, for the longest time, 360 outsold PS3, and I still think the PlayStation 3, game-wise, was a better console. But, Xbox One has more exclusives this year than the PlayStation does. So, I mean, I think if you're a gamer that wants to play a lot of new exclusive games right away, I'd actually say go with an Xbox One. Because PS4 is really not going to get much good stuff until, mid next year. At least, Xbox One is getting Sunset Overdrive. They're getting a new Forza game. What else are they getting? There was some other ones. Is it Fable? I think Fable is coming out this year. Like, they are getting some exclusive games. But it's going to be interesting to see if that actually helps them. Like, if people care now, or maybe it's too late. Maybe people have just said, fuck Microsoft, I'm going to buy a PlayStation. Like, I don't know. It'd be interesting. It's too early.
Seems like that's what the numbers are saying.
Yeah. Well, like, another Destiny is exclusive in Japan to Sony consoles, meaning it's only coming out on PS3 and PS4. Will that game sell in Japan? Who knows? I don't know. They like weird games, but I mean, that's still a pretty big thing.
Yeah.
I actually know people. I talked to some people the other day that were surprised when I told them that Destiny was coming out on Xbox One because they had only heard Destiny on PS4. So that is the proof that marketing really, really, really helps because so far Activision have been advertising Destiny as, you know, if you want to play the true Destiny experience, you play it on PlayStation. And that has worked.
They have been doing a very good job on the whole advertising thing because they do that a lot with the games.
Yeah.
When they get a multi-platform game, they do the best to try to make it look like you need to buy it on PlayStation.
Well, last year. Last gen, it was all Xbox 360. Everyone said, "Oh, if you want the best version, you got to play it on 360." But now it's kind of looked like it's flipped, and now people are saying, "No, you want the best PS4? That's the best version." It's kind of interesting. I don't know. Well, hopefully, you know, in a way, I kind of hope that Microsoft. I know this is bad to say. I kind of hope that they do badly, at least for a few years, and it makes them really fight. And then it makes them like really, really, really say we have to make some good games, and we might actually get some really good exclusives from Microsoft in the next few years.
Yeah.
The next piece of news is this whole. It's not really that interesting, I guess, but apparently someone got into the code of Watch Dogs. Someone hacked a hacking game, and they found really high-res texture packs and stuff hidden within the Watch Dogs game on PC. And they were able to make Watch Dogs look like it did, was it last year's E3 when they showed off Watch Dogs? Remember there was
2 years ago, you mean?
Yeah, maybe 2 years. When there was that really good gameplay video, and we were all like, oh, there's no way the game's going to look like that. And it actually didn't look like that. But apparently, and this is what I can't figure out, is why Ubisoft wouldn't just make the game look like that if they have the texture packs right there.
They watered it down.
Yeah, which I don't understand.
No, me either, because when they showed that trailer, I was throwing money at the screen.
Just throwing money in the air, just fuck yeah.
Take my money.
No, but it kind of makes me think that the only reason I can really see for them doing that is that they wanted the console versions to look the same as the PC versions because they wanted to advertise it the same way. Like, I don't really know what they gained from that, but
yeah, that's weird. Very weird.
It is weird, but apparently, if you are playing Watch Dogs on PC, you can make your game look a hell of a lot better. It's a night and day difference, really. Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird, and
you just gotta have the hardware to support it.
Well, that's the thing, right? And maybe that was their reason for not doing it, because they wanted more people on PC to be able to play it. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say.
But they should at least have given the option to maximize it to those who can.
That's true. It. Look at the Crisis guys. They don't give a shit. The Bloodborne gameplay trailer was leaked. Did you see that?
I did not.
This is a game that...
Shame on me.
Shame on you. Damn right shame on you. This is one of my most... After seeing E3, one of my most anticipated games. It's from the guys who made Demon Souls and Dark Souls. PS4 exclusive. And holy shit, it looks fucking awesome. It's still that whole Demon Souls style where it's hard as fuck. And it's third person, it's an adventure game. The difference this time is you have a gun. And the gunplay mechanic seems to add a lot to it. What was really impressive about this trailer was the graphics. Your guy gets covered in blood. And it almost seems like the more blood he gets on him, like the more you can see his jacket like weighing him down when he walks. Like, it's crazy.
Oh, so it's got really neat physics.
Yeah, it's an insane looking game. I mean, I'm not going to talk about it that much because I don't. Have you ever played the Dark Souls or Demon Souls?
I've never played them, but I've seen it.
Yeah,
I know what it's about.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to get into a big rant. I mean, I could. I'm a huge fan of those games. I think they're there's something, I don't know, there's something about those games, the old school mechanics of those games, I guess, are really cool. And I'm really excited about Bloodborne. But I'll leave it at that for.
I would like the trailer at the Sony press conference. I thought it was really cool. Like, it looks like the kind of game I'd want to play.
And that was a CG trailer, and they actually redo that trailer with the in-game graphics, and it looks fucking amazing.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah, it does really. Like the part with the dog walks out. That's actually a scene. That's actually in the game, which is really cool. So there's been a little bit of information on Suda51's PlayStation exclusive, Let It Die. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh, yeah. I just read that before we started the podcast. It's going to have a little bit of a multiplayer influence, kind of like, you say, like Dark Souls. And it sounded to me a little bit like what they did with Zombie U, where everyone who plays the game kind of like intertwines at some point where if you die, your data is sent to the server, and your player can, like, one of your friends can, like, steal your stuff. Apparently, you start the game in just your underwear and a gas mask. Which is, that's totally Suda51.
That's just awesome.
And, like, it's supposed to be like a survival game.
So
that's how he phrased it.
So, okay, so the game, maybe it doesn't explain this. The game is not always, like, you're not running around this game fighting other online players? Is that?
It didn't really make it that clear. It just said about, like, when people die, you can, like, loot them. Because part of the game is, like, you're attacking people, right? And, like, you start off in your underwear, you gotta attack people, you get clothes, you loot their clothes. You're always, like, trying to get better stuff for your character.
Okay. So it's a game of loot, pretty much.
Yeah, it sounds like it could be really fun.
Sounds like it could be fun. I hope it's not a bunch of online players. Like, I hope that you don't need to play it online. Like, I don't know. I'd rather
it has AI in it.
Yeah, I'd rather it be like Dark Souls, where you're actually, you're fighting AI, and when you die, you're dead, and like you can leave messages for people, like, watch out around this corner or something like that, and like other people playing the game will get those messages, but you're not in this world with fighting other people, and I don't know. If it's just like a deathmatch thing, I don't know. It doesn't. I'm hoping it'll be good. It's Suda, so it'll be weird, that's for sure.
Well, I'm sure we'll be seeing more of it soon.
Yeah, I guess there's just not enough. There's not enough information released yet on it, so. Has there been a release date on that game? Is that next year? Did they say?
I can't remember.
Yeah, that one could be a ways off. The Zelda creator, what is his name? I forget.
Pronouncing their names.
Anyway, the man who's in charge of Zelda said in a recent interview that with the new one that they teased at E3, he wants to completely overhaul the Zelda format, what we know as the traditional Zelda game. Now, this has me very excited for many reasons. What's your take on that? What do you think he means by that?
Well, he's kind of given a few hints. Like, he's kind of like said a little bit.
Yeah.
Today, actually, there was something posted about that. A lot of complaints fans had about Skyward Sword was that there was an overuse of tutorials.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, and he said that he's learned from that mistake, and that's not going to happen in the next Zelda game.
Actually, that's been my problem with the past 3 or 4 of the 3D Zelda games, is that going all the way back to Ocarina of Time, really. I mean, the tutorials have been way too boring and way too long. It's like, we get
There's
it.
too many of them.
Yeah, we know how to play a Zelda game. Just let us into this world. Let us fucking run around. Yeah, that would be good. I hope, like, there should be an option at the beginning of the game that says, like, have you played a Zelda game before? Yes. Okay. Skip the tutorial. You're right in the game.
But he wants to change the puzzles, the way the puzzles work.
Yeah, that's what I heard. The dungeons and puzzles, he said. Which makes sense because the way they're advertising the game is it's going to be this open world game. Well, what is a dungeon in an open world game? Like what I'm assuming is that you don't actually go into a dungeon, and like in most Zelda games you have your map, and then you go to a dungeon, and the dungeon is kind of like
when you're going to the dungeon you're going to be fighting a boss.
yes, like the dungeon's kind of like its own separate thing from the world. Like it's part of the world, but it's kind of like a separate level, I guess you'd call it, on its own. To me, what it sounds like they're trying to do is the whole Skyrim thing, where you're always in this big open world. Like the dungeons are maybe connected to the world. Like he said, you see those mountains, you can go to those mountains. Well, maybe your mission or whatever is in the mountains. So instead of going to like a separate dungeon and going to a load screen, you go there. That would be really cool.
No, I'm excited by all this news because I think it's time for them to freshen up the series.
I mean, it's true. I mean,
they started doing it with A Link Between Worlds, where you could go to wherever you wanted. You could play the game in whatever order you wanted to do it. You didn't have to. It wasn't so linear.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of my problems is that I guess Twilight Princess included, but Skyward Sword definitely is Nintendo had this hardware, this motion control hardware. And it seemed like they were like, oh, how we're going to innovate Zelda is through controls and through motion controls. But all they did, it was the same Zelda gameplay with motion controls tacked on. And like that, they called that innovation, which it wasn't innovation. Like, that people didn't care about that. Like, one of the things that made Skyward Sword, that made it somewhat of a letdown was the controls. And the fact that it was just another Zelda game. Like, there wasn't anything that made that game stand out. Each Zelda game should stand out, and to me it sounds like they're really trying to do that with this next one. I'm excited.
Another thing that he said was that there's going to be less hand-holding in the next Zelda game, like the hints and stuff like that.
Which again,
they're going to be toned down quite a bit.
That is awesome. Like, that is really good to hear, because again, lately Zelda games have just, you know what you're going to get. Like, you pretty much know how the dungeon's going to play out before you even start the dungeon. And
yeah,
like, they need to get rid of the dungeons. I would be happy if they said, you know what, there's no dungeons in the new Zelda game. I would say that's awesome. Make those.
Yeah, it always followed the same formula.
Yeah. I guess.
But this is going to be totally different.
Yeah, like, I guess my big hope is that, like, when there's like a fire dungeon or whatever they call it, like, I think in the last Zelda game, it was like in a volcano or something like that. Like, my hope is that this time, you're in Hyrule Field or wherever you are, you can look over in the distance, you can see the volcano, you can ride your horse over to that volcano, go inside the volcano, all with a loading screen, and it just all happens. Like, that would be
seamless.
Yeah.
You want a seamless open world.
Do you know how amazing that would be? Like, if you could just, I want that game so bad.
Well, it's very interesting with what we've seen so far.
Yeah, like I said, they're saying all the right things about it anyway. So hopefully it can live up to what they're saying. Is there anything else news-wise?
I've got a few things to mention that we didn't get to last time.
All right.
In a previous video that we did, one of our indie roundup videos.
Okay.
Remember Evan played the game Titan Souls?
Yep.
They revealed back at E3 that it's coming to PS4.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yep. When they had their indie, you know, they were showing like on the screen their indie game lineup.
I do remember
that game showed up, as well as a game that we're both highly anticipating, Hotline Miami 2.
Yeah, well, I kind of expected that one to come on PS4 because the first one was on PS3 and Vita. But yeah.
Another game, a game that you covered, on one of our first videos on our channel here. Gunman Clive. They announced at E3 that there's a sequel. Gunman Clive 2 will be coming to the 3DS.
That is actually surprising to me because I did not think the first one sold that well. But it must have.
The first one was on 3DS and PC and mobile, wasn't it?
For a while, it was a 3DS exclusive.
Okay.
And then it came out on Steam and iOS, I think, at the same time. I think it was a year later or something. Maybe it was more than a year later, actually. It came to Steam. But yeah, for a while, it was a Nintendo exclusive game.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, because it's been out now for, like a couple of years now?
Yeah, that was actually one of the first games I've heard about that was in the 3DS eShop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember watching the trailer for it. It had that really cool art style.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's cool. I really enjoyed the first one.
Yeah, that's something you'll be looking. I'll definitely try it out too.
Yeah.
I think Gunman Clive's pretty cool.
Did they say if it's a 3DS game or a PC or? Is it...
where it was announced for Nintendo, I think they just said Nintendo 3DS.
Okay. So maybe it'll be like before. It'll be on a DS first and then PC later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that one. Going back to Hotline Miami, have they gave a release date for that yet? Is that 2014 or?
I don't know. All I see was the logo pop up on the Jumbotron at the conference that said coming to PS4.
They just will not give a release date for that game. That's becoming the next Last Guardian.
But at least we know there's progress being made here because we haven't heard about it for so long. But then at E3, boom.
Actually, I saw an interview with one of the developers. He said they're still making it on Game Maker. The original was made on Game Maker. This one's going to be made on Game Maker. And apparently for each level, they have a different... it's going to be a different song. They've got enough artists that for each level can have its own separate theme song, basically.
Really?
Really cool.
Holy crap. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The music in Hotline Miami is just... Oh.
Yeah, it's a big part of the game.
Wow, it's... What's the word I want to use? Entrancing?
Yeah.
Is that the word?
Yeah, there's times when I would just take my hand off the mouse and keyboard and just listen to the music because it's so good.
I just leave it on the menu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good music. Get you really pumped up when you play the game. Is there any more games that we missed that got announced last week?
Actually, you remember how we were talking about that new game coming from Nintendo, Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker?
Yep.
You were saying, you stated in our last podcast that you've only seen that game being a download-only title.
Yeah.
It's actually been confirmed it's coming to retail.
What? Really?
Yep. So it's going to be a pretty big game.
It must be either that or Nintendo is just going to cash in on that one. I don't know. It just, to me, the art style and the way the worlds are set up, it just didn't seem like a full retail game. I was expecting, a $20 download or something like that. I don't know.
I'm looking forward to playing it because you and I both thought it looked really cool.
Yeah, it looks really, really fun. And if I had a Wii U, I'd probably get it for sure. But which I might get a Wii U eventually. So, but yeah, it looks fun. But it's kind of shocking that Nintendo still haven't embraced that download idea. They have a place where you can download games, but they don't. It's I don't know. Sony, they're all about. You can get your games day one digital and all that, but Nintendo don't.
Well, they've been doing that too.
For all their games, or
for their first party ones, the ones
really?
that they put out. Like Mario Kart was available at midnight at launch.
Oh wow, that's cool.
But Nintendo did something the other year that I don't think any companies have really done before. Remember when Wind Waker HD came out?
Yeah.
It was available in the eShop 2 weeks
before
it come to retail.
I do remember that, yeah.
Which was something very bizarre for them to do.
My whole thing about digital games is these companies need to cut at least $10 off the price. Like,
Yeah.
they're the same price as going to buy it in the store. Like, there's no way they can make sense of that because it's cheaper for them to put that right on the PlayStation Store or the Xbox Store or whatever they're calling it. It's like, why can't they knock at least $10 off that price? That drives me
Oh, here's
crazy.
something else I don't agree with. Charging tax for digital games.
Yep.
If you're not getting a physical copy, they shouldn't be allowed to charge you tax because you're not actually getting like the physical item.
Yeah. Well, in Canada, we get fucked over because if you even buy a Steam card, there's like, don't they put like an activation fee on that, like a $2 activation fee or something?
Oh, really? No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, like we actually get charged an extra fee in Canada when we buy Steam
No, I was
cards.
told Sony doesn't charge tax on their digital.
No, I don't believe they do. No.
But I know Nintendo does, and I think Xbox does too. I could be wrong.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what that one. Yeah, but I like I don't understand how they can get away with doing that and how people are putting up with it. I mean, I'm someone who just bought Infamous digitally, but like I was mad that it wasn't cheaper, but I don't know. At this point, if I can avoid going into an EB Games, I'm happy. So it's worth it.
You said that it was very fast downloading the game, so it wasn't like frustrating or anything having to wait to play it.
No, like I started downloading the game, made a sandwich or something, whatever I did, and I came back and the game was pretty much ready to go when I was. Again, that's not a huge game, but even so, it wasn't bad. Yeah, I think unless you have anything else, that will do it for news. I'm all out.
Oh, here we are. Yeah, my feed just froze there for a second. I got one more thing to talk about. I don't know if you've seen this. A game that I've been looking at that I'm actually kind of interested in. Transformers: Rise of the Darkspark.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that on the PlayStation Store. It's available for pre-order, and I was like, "There's."
I've seen a video on YouTube. Actually, Sony put the video out. What's cool about this game is that it's pretty much fan service to the fans of the 80s Transformers because Peter Cullen, the voice of Optimus Prime, is working on the game.
Or didn't he do the voice on the other two?
Yes, I think he did.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I'm not, like, a massive Transformers fan. But watching the video of this game and, like, hearing him talk and, like, give it his approval, I'm actually kind of digging it. It looks kind of like it could be a fun time.
Yeah, this again, I wish Evan was here because he's a huge fan of the last two, and I played a little bit of the last two. They are really, really fun games, like really underrated games.
I remember like someone telling me about the last one that it was like if you love the '80s Transformers, this game is right up your alley.
Yeah, it's like Gears of War meets Transformers. Is basically what the game is. It's really a hectic shooter, balls out.
Cool.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Awesome. But yeah, that's one I'm definitely kind of like watching from the shadows.
And that one actually comes out pretty soon, doesn't it?
Yep. And I think it's on all consoles.
Yeah, I think it's coming on fucking everything. Phones, tablets, fucking PC. That's everything. Yeah, but that is actually, it looks good. And like I said, the last two were really, really fun. I know Evan was a huge, huge fan of, I know he was a huge fan of the first one. And I'm pretty sure he liked the second one too. But,
wasn't one of them called like War for Cybertron?
Yeah, like what? Right? Was it War? Yeah, War, and then wait, what's the new one called?
Rise of the Darkspark. Yeah, Rise of the Darkspark.
Yeah, I think the other two had like Cybertron or something in the title. I can't remember. Anyway, they're good games and they're really cheap now. So if you can find them, buy them.
And they're original. Like the story and stuff is original.
Yeah,
it's based off the movie.
Oh, thank God. No, there's no Megan Fox, no Shia LaBeouf. Just a lot of metal on metal action.
Is there any games that like we haven't talked about that you're looking forward to that you got your eye on?
like I said, basically what I've seen at E3 is what I'm excited about. I'm still really, really excited for Far Cry 4. I want that game so badly. It's kind of weird. Like, if I could have one game from E3 that I could play, like, right now, I think Far Cry 4 would be that game, just because it just looks like it's a hell of a lot of fun to play.
Yeah, actually, I'm even, like, kind of digging that.
Yeah. I'm excited about the new Batman game. And
yes.
Kevin
Conroy might have leaked the release window for it.
Oh,
Apparently,
really?
it might be coming out January 2015 now.
Wow, there's going to be a lot of games early next year. Like, from January to March next year is just, like, a crazy lineup of games. Yeah, I'm Far Cry 4, really looking forward to. Batman game. And I was kind of, like, tired of the Batman games, or at least I thought I was. There was too many of them there at once, but I'm excited for this one. It looks good. It looks like they're changing it up enough, and I like the fact that it's, PS4, Xbox One exclusive. I like that. That's cool. Bloodborne. I still really want Bloodborne, and I'm still waiting for The Last Guardian to be announced, which will never happen.
I won't say any more on that.
Well, it's kind of interesting because if you look at E3, a lot of the big Japanese companies weren't there. Square really wasn't there. Capcom really wasn't there. I mean, Capcom didn't show didn't show off any Deep Down that I know of, anyway.
The only thing I can remember of them showing off is the Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate.
Yeah. So, this leads me to believe that this year's Tokyo Game Show in September could be a big one. We're going to probably see a lot more on Final Fantasy 15. Is it? Yeah, 15. We're probably going to see a lot on the new Kingdom Hearts game. These are some games that I'm kind of excited. Like, the new Final Fantasy game looks really good. What they showed off, anyway. And I'm kind of thinking maybe Sony saved Last Guardian for Tokyo Game Show. I don't know. It's going to be a good one this year, though.
It's your last hope.
It is. Like I've said, if it's not at Tokyo Game Show, then it's not a real game. I won't believe Sony. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of big Japanese companies haven't announced their plans for the next 2 years. So I'm kind of excited to see what they have come out. But yeah.
I'm sure that'll be a really exciting show.
Yeah, and next year is going to be a huge year for games. God, it's going to be crazy. But yeah, I think that's it for news. Like I said, there wasn't a whole lot because after E3, everyone's tired. They want to sleep. So, so yeah, we'll wrap at that.
It's been pretty cool closing.
Yeah, what are you going to be playing in the next few days? Just more Mario Kart? I don't know. Did I lose you too? Well, I think I lost Cody too. Well, that's a good thing that we're about to wrap it up. Yeah, I'll leave it here. Hopefully we don't have as much difficulty next podcast, but we lost Evan. Well, we started off, we lost Devin, then we lost Evan, and now we lost Cody. So I'm all alone. Just like usual. But yeah, that's 4Guys&AGame this week. Subscribe to the channel, like us. We're going to have more quick looks, and I'm sure Devin will have some more videos playing Hearthstone or Hearthstone. How do you say that? I don't know how to say that. Anyway, yeah, that's it. 4Guys&AGame.